I'm David the Skating Scientist, and I'm here to tell you what most aren't going to tell you. That's if you're trying to learn how to stop on skates, don't. Because after weeks of skating, I finally learned to power slide. But I didn't learn to do it by practicing it. Here's what I did instead and why I think you should too. So I recently started playing roller hockey as a fun way of getting some exercise and to blow off some steam when my experiments don't go well. And I'm not trying to make it to the NHL, but I also don't want to be dominated by children. So I asked around and everyone said the same thing: get better at skating. Because it doesn't matter how good you are with a puck if you can't skate. So I've been skating a little bit every day for 6 weeks. And when I first started skating, I severely wanted to learn how to stop. Because running into walls and other people clearly is not a long-term solution. But I had no idea it was going to be this challenging. Like many of us new to skating, I started watching all the tutorial videos on how to stop, and I focused in on the power slide. But once I started practicing it, I immediately realized I was going to have to stop practicing it. You see, the best videos consisted of expert skaters breaking down the power slide into discrete sequences. With the power slide, you turn one foot backward, put most of your weight on that backwards foot, while you stick out the other leg and slide to the stop. But what if you can't skate backwards? Or balance on one foot, while you stick out the other foot and slide to a stop. I just possess the coordination skills to even attempt these individual sequences. So I just started skating, and instead of working on the power side, I started working on getting more comfortable in my skates. Then I started working on balancing on one leg, doing crossovers, and skating backwards. Then I progressed to skating around campus so I could improve my coordination and balance by rolling on different surfaces and going on and off sidewalks. And then one day, it just happened. Exactly 6 weeks after I started to skate every day on a dark and stormy night. No, seriously, it was about to storm, and I hadn't skated yet that day, so I rushed to the nearest parking garage and started skating around. And while I was there, I thought, why not work on my power slide? When I first started trying to power slide again, it was kind of rough. I spun out and I fell. I was still a little nervous, but I could tell that the 6 weeks of skating every day had made me more confident and comfortable in my skates. So I kept trying, and I did it. And then I just kept doing it. So before you try to learn how to do one of those cool stops, just try getting comfortable in your skates first. I recommend doing it in areas that are less populated, like an empty parking lot or a tennis court. And once you feel more confident, then try working on your stop. There are other ways of slowing down still. Sometimes it just slows to a stop, however most often turns to lose limit. In the worst case scenario, I went off into that. Although that hasn't always worked out the greatest. So get out there and start skating, because if you want to get better at skating or anything else, one of the most important things you must do is just get started.